Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. I'm Nick.
I'm Ian.
Today we're going to be talking about some of our favorite one-hit wonders. There's a bunch of links down below. Make sure you go check all those out. There's links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for our merch page, for the Apple Music and Spotify weekly playlists that we put together, and also the Patreon page. Make sure you check all that out. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give us the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we release new episodes. So when I started thinking about one-hit wonders, kind of where I was going with it is not necessarily one song that a band is known for. When I was trying to think of one-hit wonders to pick, it was more so bands that, even though they're known for one song, they actually got more than just that one great song on their albums. And I think all three of the ones that I picked, the one song that all these bands are known for, there's even better tracks than that on these albums. So the first one I got is an album that I've loved since I was a kid. It was released back in, 1985, I think is when it came out?
85.
And that is Play Deep by the Outfield. Your Love is the big track that everyone knows off this album. But from beginning to end, this is actually a really, really good album. And one that, I probably play at least once every couple of months. And the Outfield actually went on, I think they ended up having 9 studio albums.
Wow.
So their lead singer died, and I think it was like 2014, 2015 of cancer. And that kind of ended their run as a band. But prior to his death, they'd actually released a lot of music. And
just never to that same level.
They just never kind of got back up to that level of success.
Mm-hmm. So one I came across, I didn't really actually know this was kind of a one-hit wonder because we listened to this album all the time when we were in high school.
Great album.
But it's Space Hog, In the Meantime.
Resident Alien is the name of the album.
Well, In the Meantime's the song. As we were talking about one-hit wonders.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Resident Alien is the album. So yeah, like I said, I never really kind of saw this as a one-hit wonder necessarily. And they've released songs.
I will say the album that they released after Resident Alien, which is, I think it's called the Chinese album, It's a fantastic album if you haven't listened to it.
Yeah, but that's an example kind of what you're talking about. It's like, that song doesn't even stand out for me. In the Meantime, doesn't even stand out because the album itself overall is so great.
Yeah. It's a song. It is my favorite song of theirs.
Is it?
But you're right. That's another example of an album that from beginning to end, there's songs are equally as good on that album.
Yeah. So to me, it was odd. I put it on my list just because it was odd that it was on the list.
Yeah.
So
the next one is an album that, to be completely honest, I forgot this album actually even existed, and this band even existed until this album was just recently reissued, I think earlier this year. The album, of course, is Lemon Parade by Tonic, and this came out in 1996, right? Mm-hmm. Tonic, they had a pretty decent career. They had 5 albums, I want to say. And I know Lemon Parade sold, I want to say, 1.3 million copies. Hit number like 26 or 28 on the Billboard 200. So it was a really hugely popular song. If You Can Only See Me, I think was the name of the track that was like hugely popular on here. But I will tell you that track is probably my 7th or 8th favorite track on this album. This is one of those albums that... from beginning to end, there's not a skippable track on it. I love this album. And like I said, before it got reissued, completely forgot it even existed. Since then, I bought it on CD and vinyl.
For me, I knew the album came out. I remember it being out. I never listened to it.
Yeah.
Like, I never at all listened to it. And then just recently, I was going through Spotify and it was in a recommendation. So I was like, you had done a video or something, or you'd
probably.
So I was like, I'll give that a listen. I listened to the album. I was like, wow, that's really good. How did I miss that?
Exactly.
So another one that I came across that was kind of shocking that it's considered a one-hit wonder, or he is Lou Reed, and it's Walk on the Wild Side.
I would never consider Lou Reed
from his Transformer album.
Yeah.
But I guess as a solo artist, kinda. I mean, he never really had any big hits after that. I mean, he obviously made a bunch of music.
What album was that song on?
Transformer.
Was it Transformer?
From 1972.
I think he had some pretty decent... maybe he didn't have like a big hit.
Right.
I know like New York was a pretty big album.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I guess I'd have to kind of go back. I would never consider Lou Reed a one-hit wonder, but I know he's on several lists that I saw.
Right. Well, and that's what I was thinking. Well, is it because it's a solo album rather than a Velvet Underground album?
Yeah.
Because Velvet Underground, you can almost, I mean, I wouldn't say they're a one-hit wonder by any means, but there's certain
They should
tracks.
have been a never hit wonder, but whatever.
But there's certain tracks that people know and then nothing else. So, and I don't know. It kind of shocked me to see that on the list. But then I started kind of breaking it down and thinking about it.
Yeah,
it's one I haven't gotten on vinyl yet.
I guess I'll throw this out there. Drop us a comment down below if you think Lou Reed is a one-hit wonder, because I would never consider him one, just because, like I said, he had New York was a pretty decently big album, I feel like, but I don't know. So probably my favorite one-hit wonder of all time is an album that some people might be kind of surprised by, but that is New Radicals. This is Maybe You've Been Brainwashed Too. I don't know why I always forget the title of that album.
Because it's not on the front.
Because it's not on the front of it. It just says New Radicals. Great album. They had one big hit on here. I want to say this album did it got pretty high on the Billboard charts, like in the top 20. But it's an album. The funny thing is about this album is the band actually broke up before the second single even came out. The lead singer of the band I think the whole band was just kind of over the whole music industry at that time and everything that was kind of different direction that they were being pulled in. I think the fame that they got off that one big single was kind of a surprise and weren't really expecting it. And I think you can never prepare yourself to be in that kind of situation. So they broke up and there's been calls for them to reunite for 20 plus years, and they've resisted the urge so far.
So the last one I came across, for my list, and it's kind of unique, and it's House of the Rising Sun by Frigid Pink. So this was the second version that was a hit.
Yeah.
The first one was The Animals in '64. And arguably, I mean, you can almost say that was a one-hit wonder, although I think The Animals had a few other hits.
The Animals definitely had some more hits.
But not a lot. Not a lot. So it's kind of unique in that sense where it's the same song was a number one.
Yeah.
I like The Animals version better.
I like both of them. I mean, I think The Animals version
the Zombies
is better,
did a version of it too, and I can't remember which one of those two between The Animals and the Zombies I liked better, but I think I like The Animals version better than Frigid Pink's.
Yeah.
But I think Frigid Pink was one of those bands that just...
By the way, they're a Michigan-based band.
Are they? I didn't know that. But I think they just kind of got lost in everything else that was going on. And it probably didn't help that, I mean, this version came out in 1970. They're kind of moving away from that psychedelic sound, which is what that song was. I mean, Pink Floyd was still kind of doing psychedelic music, but
not really.
But they were moving away from it too.
Like Pink Floyd ended their psychedelic phase in 1968. But
fair enough. But I think the industry and the taste of
music overall was definitely changing.
Yeah, I was moving away from that psychedelic kind of sound, and I think they just kind of got lost in the mix. Maybe they didn't prepare well enough or whatever. But I thought it was kind of weird, not weird, but unique, where they had that same song as a number one as two other bands technically, and arguably the Zombies and the Animals both are kind of in the same boat. It's really unique in that sense, and I can't really even think. I know I've listened to Frigid Pink before, but I'm having a hard time.
That's the only song of theirs I can think of.
Right, I'm having a hard time even remembering a lot of those other songs, and that's what I mean. I think they just kind of got lost in the mix.
Well, that's all we got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Make sure you drop us a comment down below. First off, let us know what you guys think about Lou Reed. Do you think Lou Reed is a one-hit wonder? I'm kind of on the fence about it. But also let us know who your guys' favorite one-hit wonders are and one-hit wonder albums, because there's a bunch of great ones out there. We could have went on and did 10 or 15 more for sure.
Easily.
But let us know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give us the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. That's all we got. Until next time.
Talk to y'all later.
Keep on spinning. Peace.